Right, Alfie, we're speaking after a 1-0 win against Dulwich Hamlet. Nice to get a win on the board and at home as well.
Yeah, I think it was a perfect day all round. The sun was out, 3 points, over 3,000 fans. Obviously, unbelievable community day run by Vicky, chairman, and the people behind the scenes. So all in all, it was a great day.
Yeah, I mean, that's our second community day of the season, and both have ended up getting 3,000 fans. I mean, it's phenomenal. And it just shows you really the sort of potential that the club has. They are out there, people are interested in Dover Athletic.
No, of course, and I think that's one of the small reasons why I joined like such a big club. I mean, like 4 years ago, one game off of League Two, and obviously there was a bit of a downfall, like we've said in previous interviews. But again, I think you can see it's on the up, and it was nice to see some smiles back from everybody yesterday.
Yeah, because there has been a bit of doom and gloom, and of course that's what happens when teams have downward curves. And it has been a really awful run we've had. Really, we're not going to sort of sugarcoat it. What would you think sort of happened during that run? What was it? It was around about Christmas time, wasn't it?
I think us as a collective, as a club, but also as a staff and player group, we'll never use an excuse. But it was one of them ones where there was a massive virus going round. Obviously, I remember playing five 90 minutes in 12, 13 days, and I'm throwing up on the pitch. But it's one of them ones you have to get through it. And I think every club, whether that's at the Premier League, Champions League, or if you're in step seven, you're always going to have a little bad run, no matter what. And I think our one's just come at possibly like the wrong time. But again, I think in the camp, everyone's still happy, everyone's still smiling, and we do believe we can still go on and achieve something big this season.
Yeah, because if you look at the fans forum actually, and sometimes on social media, you see supporters sort of throwing in the towel already, thinking, "Oh well, we'd have settled for mid-table, so I suppose we're happy." But what a collapse it's been! But actually, it's still in the club's own hands, and if you get on a run now, you never know what can happen.
No, of course. And I think obviously when I first signed here, everyone knew Dover wasn't on the up at the time after obviously a few relegations. But again, a lot of fans were talking about they wouldn't mind getting mid table and then rebuilding again. But again, I think we were flying at the start of the season, 7, 8, 9 points clear, and yes, we've had the drop off. And to everyone obviously out watching and listening, like we do apologise, but we are trying our best. And yeah, I just think everyone just needs to stick by us because you can see we are a young side, but that's not the excuse. It's more we're all hungry to achieve bigger and better things.
Obviously, there's some tough games coming up. I mean, Dartford's coming over the horizon, isn't it? Very soon, away from home. Obviously, good memories from the home
Mm.
victory against them. In some ways, I actually think those sort of games will suit us. I know it sounds strange, but we have struggled against some of the mid-table, lower league sides. But actually, sometimes when we're up against the odds, I kind of fancy us.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I think as a collective, we're not afraid of anybody. I think things happen. Again, the conditions, whether that's at home or away pitches, again, it's non-league, and that's why everyone loves non-league, and that's why it's the best sport in the world, and also the worst. But I do believe that on our day, no team can touch us, and I feel like all the boys we're not worried about Dartford, we're not worried about Chichester. I think we literally are just now fully focused on Cray Wanderers away and just slowly just building back up again.
Now, obviously, a victory against Dulwich, as you say, in front of a fantastic crowd. How do you reflect on that performance? What do you think went right on day? Obviously, we've got the 3 points, and what areas can we improve?
Um, Obviously it was a difficult game. Obviously, I know Brad Quinton, the Dulwich manager, from my time at Hemel. Um, so it was nice to obviously see him and a close mate of mine, Errol, who's obviously on the coaching staff. So it was nice to see everybody. I knew how they played. They're honest. They were direct. They obviously had Danny Mills up top, who's 6 foot 100, wins everything in their air. And it was just nice, obviously, to get the 3 points. But I felt like we just had a little bit more calmness in our play yesterday. Obviously, when the club brought in Ryan Hansen, it's helped me a lot to push me further forward and show everybody what we're all about. But yeah, I just feel like hard work. And listen, everyone can say about the goals and we need to score more. I get that, but at the end of the day, sometimes you have to go through these ruts where a 1-0 victory is sometimes better than a 3-4-5-0. And again, the luck was on our side yesterday. Obviously, they hit the post 94th minute, but again, we haven't had the best of luck and the times recently, so it was just nice just to have a good, decent game.
And how do you feel, it's gone for you this season? I mean, obviously, you did say, didn't you, at the start of the season, there's going to be good games and there's going to be bits where you drop off. How do you feel it's gone overall?
Um, Personally, people can agree or disagree, but obviously I've spoke to a lot of people. I feel like I've been very consistent this season, especially playing in the eight position, like box to box this year, which I've never ever played in. I've always been over a striker or a 10, so it's nice to obviously learn. But also, it's nice that obviously Mike and Jake and also the boys, more importantly, trust me in that position. And yeah, I feel like obviously 19 goal contributions from central midfield is not a little bad one to have. And I think everyone's chipped in. But again, as much as I do worry about myself individually, I can have a poor game, but I know the person to my left and right are going to dig me out, and they're also going to help lift me up and do my running for me, and vice versa.
Now, obviously, Ryan's come into the team. Obviously, ex-Dover captain, actually, only a few years ago. How do you feel he's done so far, and how's that complimented you?
Yeah, I think bringing in Ryan, like obviously I smiled at Mike as soon as I heard he was bringing him in because it was nice to have obviously an ex academy boy knows how to keep the ball on the floor, keep it ticking, but also he's a humble lad. Like he knows what he'll give you. You're going to get a 7, 8 out of 10 no matter what his performance is like. He's always going to work hard, but also there's a bit of bite about him. So I feel like we've needed that, but also it's kind of freed me up to show my technical ability up the pitch instead of me doing the dirty work, which I don't mind doing. But obviously, I think at these times where the goals ain't clicking for certain boys, sometimes obviously there's only four of us that have scored above 9, 10 goals this season, so it's hard when only four of us are firing. But everyone obviously is chipping in, and yeah, Hans coming in has helped me a lot.
Yeah, and of course he's got experience, doesn't he? I know he's still young himself, but actually he's got a lot of National League games under his belt. Of course, he's been at Hull and he was at Crystal Palace, wasn't he, before
Mm.
that? So he has got some pedigree.
No, of course he has, and I feel like that's why obviously I quite click with him. We've come from similar backgrounds, like football wise, but also it's just I feel like we needed to freshen things up, and Jake and Mike knew that. It's just at the start of the season they were very clear and honest. They will only bring boys if they feel like they fit into the team, but also more importantly the group. And yes, we have had a few trialists come in and a few boys come in, but I think Jake and Mike notice if they don't click with certain boys or the whole agenda about them is not what Dover Football Club's about, then it's obviously not a great fit.
Now we talk about settling in and gelling with the team and the club and everything. And you're talking to me at the moment from a hotel room in the
Yeah,
Dover area, the Blazing Donkey, because
yeah,
they're looking after you at the moment. Just explain to Dover fans, you're actually down here at the moment, 7 days a week, pretty much, aren't you?
yeah. Basically, so I've been probably home twice, probably since Christmas time. Obviously, I'm staying down here doing obviously a lot of coaching with like the younger people in Dover. Obviously, me and the local boys, we obviously all train Monday, Wednesdays. So yeah, it's nice, but also obviously Richard and Sherry obviously have helped me so much. Obviously, with me staying here because it's impossible for me to get up and down all the time. So I'm just grateful, and obviously that's why I'm trying even harder on the pitch to thank everybody else.
I've always thought, and we spoke earlier, didn't we, that this is something that clubs like Dover have to do really to attract players, because of course, south of Dover, as we know, is the English Channel, so we can't recruit players from there. So it's good, isn't it, that local businesses like Blazing Donkey are actually helping the club and putting players up, because it really does make a difference for you, doesn't it?
No, of course it does. I feel like it takes a little bit less stress off my back. Getting from A to B, because obviously it takes me around about 3 hours drive. Yes, I know we train in London and stuff, but it's nice to be around the club. Obviously, I always pop in to go see the likes of Leanne, Gavin, just for a little quick chat. But also, I just feel like I don't think people realise how helpful the Blazing Donkey, but also like Richard, the chef, Amanda, they've all helped me so much, and like I've created like lifetime friends here.
So just tell us there, you're saying about the chef, so are they cooking you good food? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, no, do you know what? So me and the chef, we've got like a funny relationship. Like he's a West Ham fan, same as me. Also, we've got a bit of banter about us, but also like it's just nice, like just for us just to have a chat and just. I'm not always obviously always in the room. I'm either out coaching or if I'm not, I'm in there winding them up, as I always do. But then again, it's just like one big family, and sometimes for me, I feel like am I paying being here? But they go like, no, like part of the family. You're with us all the time. Like, and yeah, like they've helped me, and I'm trying to help out a little bit around the place as well. So yeah.
So just tell me how a week sort of looks for Alfie Matthews. You know, how does it work? I mean, obviously you got a game on a Saturday. I mean, what do you do
Yeah.
today, and how's this week going to look for you?
So obviously we had the game yesterday, and then today, if I'm being honest with you, I'll go for a walk and then not do nothing. Just rest my body in so much pain in bits. And then yeah, tomorrow obviously like the new Ballers League started up. I'm sure we'll get onto that. And then yeah, Tuesday obviously we train with the boys. Wednesday, depending on the session, I will go to the gym on a Wednesday. Probably do a full body session, a bit of swimming. Then Thursday again, that's when slowly like the prep starts to come in. So come off a little bit less on the body. We do training at in Blue Water on a Thursday with the boys. Then a lot of me and Nick Hatch, obviously, we always probably go for a dinner on a Thursday, whether that's a Nando's or somewhere else. And then Friday, I have my routine 20 laps in the pool, stretch in the pool, sauna, steam room. And then back here, wind up the chef for a little bit. And then we have my pre match ritual food. And then same again, and we go again on Saturday.
Yeah, no, we will talk about the Ballers League actually because I've seen that come up a couple of times. It's a phenomenal thing, isn't it? Just tell us, there was a load of people that entered for that, and you got
Mm.
down to the final. You'll give me all the figures in a minute, but you got down to the final, not so many people, and you've actually been selected to play.
Yeah, so I think so there was 20,000. I didn't know anything about it until 2 weeks ago. There was 20,000 boys in the UK from ex-Prem players down to current Step 3, Step 4 players have entered for like a trial. Um, for me, my full focus was on Dover, so I was like, there's no point in me entering this. And then I got a message from Freddie Lundberg, obviously he was my old manager, and he put me in contact with Lassie Lehman, which was Jens Lehman's son, and just basically said like they're interested in me coming. So I was like, I'll pop along. Like, didn't think I was going to get picked. There was only 144. And then in the end, I get picked by Alicia Lehman, current Juventus ladies, and Maya Jama, obviously a massive influencer in the UK. And then yeah, so obviously I did have a chat with the chairman, the managers. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to express to the fans and everybody at the club. Obviously, thinking, is he leaving Dover? It's not like my main focus is obviously on Dover. I think I've showed that most of the season, and the stuff obviously I do off the pitch. So it's a good opportunity, but if someone said it's this or Dover, then obviously Dover's my main priority.
Yeah, I was just saying earlier, weren't we? If it was playoff final victory or playing in the Ballers League, we know which one you're going to pick.
Of course it is, yeah, 100%.
Now, I just want to drill into something that has come up quite a few times on the forum. Obviously, the unsavoury stuff that happened after the hashtag game, which unfortunately affected you and your dad. Could you just tell us what actually happened and how it's kind of affected you going forward? Because although a lot of people are concerned that it, had a really negative effect, you actually see it as for what it is, which is a minority of idiots.
Yeah, of course. I think, listen, whether you're at, like I said before, Premier League, World Cup, or if you're playing for little old Deal Town or little old Dover, it doesn't really matter. I feel like obviously you're always going to have them minority of fans that have their opinions, and I completely agree with that. I think everyone should have their own opinion. Whether some people think I've played very good, some people think I've played very bad. It's football. I mean, as long as the gaffer and the boys are happy, that's all I'm happy about. But yeah, I think just part of that situation was, I think the little minority of fans were shouting at one of our ex players who have just recently left. And as a teammate, and I see myself as a leader on and off the pitch, I went to go calm it down, and some words were exchanged. And then next thing you know, obviously, I know that my dad's in a little bit of trouble. So as me and my dad are like very, very close, as everyone knows, obviously it's family. So obviously I've tried to stop everything, and then yeah, then obviously stuff's happened to me, and again, when I say the minority, the majority had pulled me away and basically kept me away from everything, which is obviously I really appreciate them fans.
Now, you're settled in Dover at the moment, as I say, staying at the Blazing Donkey. You're happy with the club, and there is. I mean, obviously, we're looking ahead to next season as well. Even though we've got a lot to deal with this season, but in terms of your own future, you're actually open to the idea, aren't you? You're staying in Dover next season.
Yeah, of course. Look, listen, my main thing was to come in here and play as many games as possible, which I have, and I'm very grateful for that. But also, I feel like I've earned my spot in this team. I feel like me playing a completely different position, I've earned my spot, and yeah, obviously I've got a very good relationship with the chairman now. Um, Mike and Gaffer, best people ever. Obviously, I get along with them, and obviously the boys, I see them all as family now, and I've made friends for life. And I just said, as much as I'm willing to do anything for this club, which I think I've shown, like I said, I am fully focused on just now Saturday, then the game after, then the game after. And my main aim is to get this club promoted so we can all enjoy it next season in the National League South. And obviously, if not, then we rebuild.
Yeah. So, would you be open to staying in the Isthmian League? I mean, a lot of people are saying, is it dependent on promotion or not?
No, I don't think it's dependent on promotion. I think if you look at the stature of the club and I think the stadium says alone, like what the club's about. It's a lot better than, and it's not just about the stadium, but it's the facilities, the people who everyone sees day to day in the club, but also the behind the scenes staff. Like everyone's just one big family. We win together, we lose together, and everyone's hurt. Obviously, like the last few weeks, obviously with losing, and I just said my main aim is now to obviously get the club back up, and if we don't, then we go again next season, and I'm happy to help. And obviously, Jake and Mike both know this. And I just said obviously that conversations will obviously eventually happen. Um, but yeah, like I said, I think I'm fully focused on the last six cup finals, and then hopefully go win these playoffs.
Do you find that living in the Dover area makes you? I mean, you understood Dover fans anyway, because you really got into it. You really bought into it at the start of the season. But are you sort of getting to learn more about the area and the psyche of the people?
Yeah, of course. I feel like everyone either support Dover, Folkestone, or Deal, and it's funny because I'll be walking out like just after the gym session. I'll have my Dover tracksuit bottoms on, and then I'll have like kids coming over. So obviously it's nice, like people recognise me round back down here. But at the same time, it's nice. It reminds me of home. It's quiet. Um, Obviously, I haven't really explored much the last few weeks. Obviously, my car's broke down, so that's a pain in the ass. But things happen. But again, like listen, I feel like everyone round here has. I don't know. I feel like there's more of a smile recently from the when I first come to now. I think even when you see people outside the stadium, inside the stadium, but also like if I'm going for some food and stuff, and people notice that everyone seems to be on board and what the club's going in the right direction. And again, that's credit to Mike and Jake.